Hello there, this is another update on how my grid-based game is coming. As you've probably gathered from previous videos, these are all based on hex tiles, so movement gets a little bit out of the WASD movement and marginally more realistic. What I'm going to show you today, and I'm starting kind of mid-play here, so my character's a little more powerful. We've got stats, primary stats, so in addition to the regular attack and defense and of the different types we have, I've added some stats like agility, constitution, intelligence, strength, and wisdom. And every level you get to spend 2, plus they'll rise a little on their own. So you can see I've already added 1 point each from the first level to strength and intelligence. Intelligence boosts your magic attack. Strength boosts your melee attack. So I'm going to go ahead and boost my magic attack, and you'll see when I click the plus button, I'll get 4 points here, and the magic attack should jump 2. Or, okay, 1. So magic attack went up 1. And we'll add constitution this time, and that'll add 10 points to health. And there we go. So let's get out of there. I've already got some weapons and armor this time around. Go ahead and throw these away in the trash can. The trash can's actually very easy to write. I think I've mentioned a couple of times how to just make a container that just takes things and throws them away. So we still got our basic spells, our fireball. I had a little problem with damage brokering in that I was accidentally using the attacker's attack and defense stats to calculate the damage. And that meant that while I was raising up my melee defense, so were they technically, and I was getting hit harder because I tried to lower their defenses so I could hit harder, and it wasn't working. So that was a big error. In case you guys think that the teacher's aides and instructors don't make mistakes, we definitely do. It's just digging them out and rooting them out. So one of the cool features that I've added here is when you kill a monster, in the previous videos, when you kill a monster, they kind of pile up. They got a little cluttered. I didn't like that, and I remember playing Final Fantasy quite a ways back, and I watched this when I hit this slime, when I get a turn. I remember watching Final Fantasy a long ways back, and Final Fantasy VII, you'd hit the characters and they fade away when they died. Okay, so here we go. This attack should do it. And the slime just fades away. Ooh, I got an enchanted sword. 2 videos in a row I get enchanted swords, and I never get enchanted swords. Their drop rate is like super low, but I want to take advantage of it. The enchanted sword, it just hits a little harder basically, and I think it has a boost to damage. I don't know why it's not showing here on top of the I've changed the way damage works in general. So every weapon gets a base stat, a base number that's like the base damage. And we do a defense roll and an attack roll for each point. So say the damage is 12 points of base damage, then we're going to do 12 rolls. And if the attack roll is higher than the defense roll, it's a hit. If the defense roll is higher than the attack roll, it lowers the damage, and if it's a lot higher than the defense roll, there's no damage. And if the attack roll is a lot higher than the defense roll, there's more damage. So you can do up to double damage if you get enough, score enough critical hits. Balances out. I've been trying all sorts of ratio things. I didn't want the damage to get out of hand. And when I was just doing a straight ratio between the attack roll and defense roll, that little bitty sword might do 100 damage when it shouldn't do more than 24. Leveling up is still the same. Now see, I've leveled up to level 3, and now I have more stats to play with. So we're going to boost strength again, because you can never have too much attack. and intelligence for a little more magic attack. And let's see. Just waiting for the turn to come around. I mentioned before that the system I've set up will check to see on an NPC if it's in the camera range. If it's not in the camera range, it just makes the move. If it's in the camera range, it has to animate the whole move, which takes longer. I really like the way the fade out has become. I actually wrote a custom shader for it using the new shader graph. If you've ever written a shader in the old shader code, it can be quite daunting. In the shader graph, it's actually just visually easy. It's like writing a graph, a material graph in Unreal. Not quite, because Unreal I think does it better. But I think Unity will get better over time at their shader graphs. And I think that's going to about wrap it up for this video. You're kind of getting the idea here. I was hoping a mage would pop up, but I don't see any mages on the screen at the moment. Added a few critters. Yeah, I think that's about it. Oh, Golem. These are going to be hard to hit. Oh, luckily he didn't hit hard. I think I need to adjust his damage. Or I've got better. Well, my defense is 27. He's 2. He should hit harder than that. You can see the time between turns takes longer when everything's on the screen, because it's got to move them all. So there's the bat moving. Bats get 2 or 3 turns per, so it might take a bit for them to move if you're doing it in the background. So with the scroll, you can go ahead and zoom in and get things out of the camera, and your turns should come much quicker. You can rotate the camera with these buttons over here to get perspective, and they all roll in the direction in hex angles. So if I click over here, it's just going to roll, so I'd be looking straight down. So you'll always be looking straight down at angle. There we go, we finally beat him. I think I mentioned last time automatically picking up gear, saving us the time of stepping into a slot. You'd actually waste a turn to go pick up gear before. Now it just picks up automatically, kind of clears the clutter. And we got quite a bit. Don't know if this is going to be any better. Anyways, that about wraps it up for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back later with more features.